Hello and welcome to another Life Beyond Bricks video.
Right, before we get into the fitting of the diesel heater, let's just get straight to the good stuff that benefits you. Obviously, please watch the rest of the video, but we'll get straight to the discount codes. So we bought our diesel heater, didn't we?
Yes.
That you fitted, and it's the third Autoterm diesel heater that we've actually bought and fitted to a van. So one in each of my campers, one in the motorhome. But for this show season, so starting from today right through until October, we are actually partnering up with Autoterm in conjunction with Darren, the Urban Motorhome as well, to give you a 10% off discount code. So most ambassadors, I believe, have 5, but as a special for us and Darren, they're going to give you 10% off all heaters on the autoterm.store website, and all orders over £250 on the Adventure VanLife website. Now that one stocks things like Ridge Monkeys, I think I saw Aux Beam on there, they've got fridges, they've got all sorts of VanLife stuff. So the following code, Urban Life, all one word, lowercase, works as a discount code on autoterm.store, 10% off, and 10% off orders on the Adventure VanLife website for all orders over £250. Is that good? Does that all make sense?
That sounds good.
We'll put all the links in the description as well for you.
So, without further ado,
back over to you.
It's on with the video. We want this to be fully off-grid, so we are going for dual heating, so dual fuel heating if you like. We'll retain the Truma gas heater because obviously that is quite good and I don't really want to be taking that out, but then we'll add an additional diesel heater and that will have its own venting, its own trunking, so I may put some of it into the original trunking in the van with like little wire pieces. Yeah, we've used Autoterm on 2 of our other vans now and they are fantastic systems, so going to use the same system on this. We've gone for, obviously we're going for a 24 volt system, so I've actually gone for a 24 volt heater this time. Yeah, diesel heater I'm hoping is going to go below this floor section. And the reason I want to put it here is because this floor section here is incredibly difficult to get out, so probably wouldn't use it for storage. So the idea, hopefully, is to get it in this hole. I mean, I will demonstrate how difficult it is to get this panel out.
Two 2,000 years later.
There we go. Hopefully I can go in here, however, it just looks underneath. And I think the chassis rails run here. So as long as I can come far enough away from the chassis rails, because I can line up with these bolts here. So I've got 2 bolts straight in line. I'll have to measure them just to make sure I am in the right area. So as soon as you open an area, you will very quickly, I mean, I suppose I could store cats in here. The girls are absolutely beside themselves with the excitement. So as you can see, that is an absolutely massive storage area. And measuring underneath, obviously we do have the chassis rail along here, so I need to come this way. I don't think I wanted to go a bit further forward, but I can't because the exhaust is sort of about there. There's another section there which is where the exhaust is, so I am going to have to bring this back a little bit. Probably go here. Obviously the diesel heater will be the other way up through the floor using the turret. So this will go through the floor. So I'm just sort of measuring and sizing everything up physically in place. So I think I know where I need to large outlet will come into a Y piece. Have a hole in this panel here, which will then go towards the back of the van. And then we'll have heater ducts coming up probably to the side here, and probably a heater duct coming up in the front as well, somewhere here. Not a lot of room for a duct there. I may get one in, possibly, so I could blow heat towards the back of the van. But yeah, so I've got to probably start drilling a pilot hole and see if we're in the right area, and then we'll go for it. So join me under the van. So just done my pilot hole there. So I'm going to get it right in this corner here. It's close to here because I want it sort of in the middle of the cupboard so I can get the ducting easily enough out the back of it. These are the bolts. These were my reference I used. So yeah, obviously I wanted to go a little bit further forward, but I can't because obviously there's a beam here, and then I would be sort of in and around the exhaust area, which would just be awkward to work with. So I think there is going to be good. Obviously that will come down in the corner there, nice and tidy. There we have it all installed. The diesel heater is there. There's plenty of ventilation for the intake of the diesel heater as well. All these sections in between have got these little air holes all the way along. So there's enough air is coming in. There's also vent holes in the floor. So there's enough fresh air coming into the van. That's the pipe that goes under the kitchenette. So we've got a little Y piece here. That's from Autoterm as well. Short section which comes with the heater. Yeah, so for the internal ones I've used Truma vents. Got a little end cap one there. So I've got air going forward. And I've got one there as well, which comes out just under there. And then I have patched into the rear section just under here, which I'll show you in a second, which goes to the shower one, which is quite powerful. Goes to this one and then out to the garage as well. Joins into the Truma part using a Y pipe, which you can get from Autoterm. So yeah, it works quite well actually. Seems to be quite a lot of throughput of air going to those rear sections. And that obviously travels all the way up there, goes up to the shower one, and then that goes up towards the bed and the garage as well. Saved the fuel feed till the last because I didn't really want to do it. It was as difficult as I thought, so I've had to get all of this out. This is the near side step of the motorhome. So I've had to get all of this out, all of the interior step and bits and pieces like this, because obviously on a normal panel van, the filler neck would be effectively here. The side of the van would be here, but obviously, because this is coach built and it's an A-class, obviously has to have this extension. So this is the extension that Frankia put in. So it is, to be fair, it's a really good, nice extension, very well built. But the trouble is it does go through the floor, so you have to access this to undo these clips. Basically, this whole flexible filler neck drops out through the bottom of the van. I haven't put the cover back on, so you can see this is where the rest of the filler, because this is a fixed filler neck anyway, so unfortunately you can't disconnect it down here to get the fuel tank out. So it did make it incredibly difficult to do, and it's the big 110 litre fuel tank as well, which made it even more difficult. I would have had to leave all of this off anyway, because once everything's been out I wanted to get it leak tested, and there wasn't any leaks, so we're all good to put it back together. Initially I was going to put the controller, the comfort controller, which you can see I have chosen to put it over there. Initially I was going to put the comfort controller up here, behind there, probably next to the Truma, but unfortunately the route down and across the floor to where the heater was really difficult to do, because you can't really get under the floor here. It's very difficult to get under the floor, whereas the other side, we've got hatches outside the van, so it's actually quite easy to get to. And obviously this, because obviously we've got sockets here, we do have a nice easy sort of wiring run down behind this panel. So I chose to put it here, and it works out quite nicely there. This has got a temperature sensor built in anyway, so
It does take the temperature quite well in the van. It's working out really well. It gives us redundancy as well. If anything goes wrong with the Truma, then obviously we've still got heating in the van. We're not ever gonna get cold. And vice versa, if anything goes wrong with the Autoterm, then we've got the Truma system to fall back on as well. So yeah, that's the reason we go for like an external diesel heater rather than actually swapping it out for the diesel version on the Truma. So it's been in for about a month now. And obviously we are getting into the warmer weather, to be fair, but we've still got about a quarter of a tank of gas left. And it has been a month. Normally we'd be topping up gas every 1.5 to 2 weeks. We were in the winter, obviously now probably every 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks. So yeah, 30 days in, and because we've been supplementing the heating with the diesel, so during the day and in the evenings we're using the diesel heater, and then when we're asleep at night we do revert to the Truma because it's just a little bit quieter. Whereas the diesel heater, even when it's on low, you can just about hear it, but it's not too bad. Again, we generally only run it on low because it is so warm. So that pretty much concludes our off-gridifying of the van. We've pretty much got it how we want it now. Like I say, we're not struggling with heat, we're not struggling having to think about where we're getting gas all the time, because we can just supplement it with a diesel heater. So if you are still with me, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.